this report is quite massive. I mean, it is 450 pages. There it is. It is a big thing. And if you like footnotes, you're going to love this because it's got about 2,500 of them. I found that one quote in here really leaped out at me. I just watched a documentary last evening called The Social Dilemma. I'm sure you're aware of it. It is a frightening piece of work on Netflix. But in your report is this quote: "These firms have too much power. Our economy and democracy are at stake." Explain to me why democracy is at stake as a result of these companies' power.
Well, as you know, we've had a historic battle in this country between monopolies and democracy. Concentrated economic power in the hands of a few corporations is inconsistent with democracy. And that's why we have competition policy that promotes good competition, that doesn't permit monopolies, because we recognize the dangers they pose, because often with that economic power becomes political power. But we did a top-to-bottom analysis of the state of competition in the digital economy. We've studied it for 15 months in a bipartisan way. We found significant concentration in this sector of our economy, prone to monopolization, a behavior that is anti-competitive, that favors their own products and services, bullies competitors, disregards the privacy interests of consumers, reduces innovation. And we make some really important findings with respect to the marketplace, and we offer a set of solutions, a menu of options for Congress to consider to bring competition back into the digital marketplace. You are working on legislation yourself right now, and I want to get sort of company by company into what you found as you did this. But let me ask another sort of 50,000-foot question. Do you think that the people of the United States broadly favor the idea of coming in and regulating or rewriting antitrust laws, or, as the case may be, bringing cases by the FTC or the Justice Department, as may be the case? Do you think the people are broadly behind this, when I think a lot of them view these platforms as, in some cases, really convenient, really helpful, in the case of Google search, essentially free, and a part of their life that they really enjoy, and that they might say, just don't mess with it? Yeah, first of all, it's important to recognize these services are not free. People pay for them with the most valuable commodity they have, their data, their personal data, which is like gold, and they pay for them with their time, with their attention, their eyeballs. And so, first of all, antitrust laws apply to whether services are free or not, but I really push back hard. These are not free. People are paying for them with very valuable commodities. And the reality is, I think we've seen examples of data breaches. We've seen the dissemination of patently false information that undermined our election in 2016. So I think people are beginning to understand that there are dangers out there because of this market power and this concentration. And they expect Congress to do its job of making certain our antitrust laws are modernized and updated. I mean, these statutes were principally written at the turn of the century in response to the railroad and oil monopolies. It's a very different economy, and the time has come to update our antitrust statutes, to modernize them, to make sure that we have competition. So, in fact, the next Amazon or next Facebook or next Google can be, created and compete successfully. When you think about the decline in innovation as a result of the market dominance of these large firms and the difficulty in capital formation, because people don't want to invest in a company that one of these four platforms is going to gobble up in the early stages. So there are real impacts on the economy, on workers, on consumers of this kind of market concentration. That's why we have pro-competition policy, antitrust policy. We have to make sure it's working right.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.